there, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video here on the Java Let's Play world. We're working on the inside of the pyramid, of the quartz pyramid today. So as you can see, all the concrete currently is concrete powder. Now, I'm still debating whether or not I want to change it from concrete powder to something else. Not concrete powder, to hardened concrete, but I think I like it the way it is. To be honest, it kind of looks like sand, very decorative sand, which is something a lot of people actually want. People want dyeable sand, or at least a block that has a texture similar to this that is dyeable. And strictly because concrete powder looks really nice. It's a really nice texture. Issue is, when it gets wet, it turns into a very plain texture, which is great. It's one of the best blocks they've ever added into the game for being creative and stuff, you know. There were days when all we had was dyed wool. So everything you built was built out of wool. Yes, I remember those days. Stampy would build an entire structure out of just dyed wool. Gosh, you know, there's something that needs to be said about Stampy's old videos. All right, we'll go on this tangent and then we'll do a time lapse. But Stampy built all this stuff out of wool. Now, granted, I don't know if he actually went and spent the time gathering the resources. He said he did, but I feel like that's not true. I feel like he used creative mode to get all that stuff, in my opinion. Because we've seen him use, he'd used creative mode once before. He built a wishing well so that he could get items that at the time there was no other way of getting. This is way back in the day before, well, there were ways of getting jungle logs and cocoa beans. You know, his world wasn't infinite. This is all on Xbox 360. And so that was clearly he went into creative, gave himself jungle saplings and cocoa beans, and then hopped back into survival. Simple as that. But as a kid, you were like, what? I mean, the thing was, by the time I watched that episode, I was old enough to know. Actually, by the time I watched Stampy, I was pretty much old enough to know, like, wait a minute here. Something's not right. Of course. Now he's come back, and he's just back to the way things used to be. I think he tried something different there for a little bit, but I don't think people liked it. He expanded his world. Good reason too. For one thing, small world stuff it's just glitched. You can't play on it. As we've seen and talked about before on this channel. It's just annoying. Plus, there's a bunch of features that he just couldn't do. He couldn't beat the Ender Dragon. He couldn't... there was a variety of things. However, he did leave behind the... I think he said many times that he, like, leveled his nether. Which I think is crazy, that he completely destroyed his nether multiple times over. And he would just do the reset nether button. Which, I mean, it makes sense. It's 4 times smaller than the overworld. But the fact that he just would level it, because he needed nether brick or something, or one of the resources in the nether. Nether quartz, I think, was one of his big things. You need a lot of. But, yeah, if that's true, and he didn't just go into creative and give himself those materials, and then just pick right back up where he left off the day before. But it's interesting, right? When he left, came back, when Minecraft made its big return here a few years ago, how do I put this? It had been as if his life hadn't changed. Like, nothing had changed for him from the time that he quit to the time that he came back. Right? He's still just dating Squishy. I don't know. Actually, I don't know if they're dating anymore. He's still just... He didn't... He didn't... I mean, him and Squid wouldn't make videos together. I mean, I don't think Squid's made videos in a long time. Anytime Stampy would have Squid on were the best. It was always a shame that... they did less and less videos together as things went on. The first podcast I ever listened to was their podcast. But, anyways, that's 6 minutes of me rambling. Let's just cut to the time lapse. We are going to run out of concrete powder again. Well, let's go make some more, but that's not a big deal. I have plenty of gravel. You're thinking, Doc, how'd you get so much gravel? And I'm like, well, I used up the last of my water-breathing potions, went to the bottom of the ocean, and mined gravel. A lot of people would rather, go travel the world, go find a gravel biome and mine that. Nope, not me. I do it the most difficult way possible, at the bottom of the ocean. And actually, I only spent like maybe an hour or so doing that. Alrighty. We have gone ahead and the floor is done. Now we have to work on an area that we're going to put the beacon in. So we need some more. Also, we might want to work on this outside too. That way we can walk out here without dying if it's nighttime. But anyways, looks all right in here. You always wish it could be brighter, but it's the best I can do without just going completely overboard with torches. I still have a very large amount of torches, to be honest, but nevertheless, we will figure it out. In time. And, anyways, I'll come back. I gotta go do some stuff, clean up the kitchen, and then we can get to work on the floor. Alright, and we're back, and we're running for our lives, as per the usual in these Let's Plays. I cleaned my kitchen up. I actually made tacos, and then cleaned up all my dishes from making said tacos for the first time ever. Like, that doesn't happen. I don't normally do that. Normally, I don't make tacos for lunch, and so there's that. But moving on. What were we? Oh, we gotta go get some pumpkins so we can make some more jack-o'-lanterns. So we can light up the area in front of the pyramid so we don't constantly want to die. Although Protection 4 would be a good investment. It is something to work towards, as well as probably going and fixing our whole village system. It's kind of a disaster compared to some of my other worlds, and so it needs a lot of work, as well as these farms need a lot of work. I think there was original intention to expand the farms at some point, and then we just stopped. This was like 70 episodes ago, I think, is when we made that decision. So yeah, solid idea. There's also a creeper over there. Interesting. Alright, we need shears. Is there any iron in this chest? No. And if you're smacking, it's because I have gum in my mouth. Alright, we've got a bit of iron. Certainly enough to do what we need to be. Certainly enough to build all the beacons we need, but there could be more. There could be more. Need to actually make the shears there, Doc. There you go. See, unlike Bedrock, we can actually just shear the... We can shear just by looking at the tops. Bedrock doesn't let you do that. I don't know why. I mean, it makes sense, you know, that you should have to look at the actual front of the pumpkin to carve a face into it. But, yeah. Can you imagine if we had custom textures? Like, it'd make the jack-o'-lantern like one of the most OP light sources ever. Because you could just leave it. You could just, like, do the minimum amount of carving possible. And just make it look like a pumpkin from the outside. And just have a glowing pumpkin. What's really a shame, it's really unfortunate, is that one of the best light sources in the game, the frog light, is the most difficult light source to obtain. In my opinion, the frog light is the most difficult. I mean, once you... I think... It's the most difficult to obtain... To obtain the first few is the most difficult. But then once you have some, getting more, provided you've set up a farm of some sort, is a lot easier. Of course, doing that on this world, we'd have to go to the Nether, find a piglin bastion that has a magma cube spawner. Make more powdered snow, I think is one of the other way. I think it's one of the ways they recommend doing it. But you tried getting more powdered snow? It's not easy. Not to mention that you have to defeat the whole Piglin Bastion. Well, I think... Oh, I didn't mean to cut. Alright. This is definitely more. That's a lot of bone meal I'm just throwing away, actually. I'm going to take those. Not that I need that much bone meal anymore, but if I ever need a large amount of white concrete again. Maybe. I've got to be one of the very few. I'm not really a YouTuber yet, but one of the very few Minecraft YouTubers who has very little gravel. Although, I feel like Hermitcraft players usually have quite a bit of gravel. Usually they cycle through all theirs, turning into concrete all the time. So I'm not sure. Apart from the fact the donut can still spawn mobs on top of it, because I have yet to actually go and spawn-proof it, because that will be a pain in the butt, but apart from that, things won't spawn and try and kill us all the time. This is, I think, supposed to be the first thing you do before you start working in an area. Is you level it, and then you place torches and stuff. But I choose to live life precariously. It's a shame, really. You know what Minecraft teaches us? Minecraft teaches us that light pollution is okay. Which I really think is something Education Edition should really look into. I don't know how difficult it would be to pull off, but it's definitely something you should try and implement, in my opinion. I think I've talked about this before. Maybe not in the Education Edition, but just like in the base game. But it's definitely something that belongs in the Education Edition. All the Education Edition really does is teach you about chemistry and chemistry and like chemicals, which I guess is chemistry, but about chemistry and yeah, that's about it. Which, in my opinion, they should really expand things out. There's more to the world than just chemistry, you know. There's more to it than that. Why did we level it all the way out to here? I don't understand. You can tell where I've given up on trying to do the step thing. Like over there, lots of steps. Over here, there's no steps. The thing about no steps over here is that I'm probably going to continue to expand in this direction. Since there's a lot less terraforming required to move in this direction. For now, there is a big mountain over there, which we are pretty much on the edge of. But this whole area here could certainly be terraformed. So, I don't know. I don't have any ideas at the moment, but there was something about a chocolate chip cookie at some point. Good enough. So that's an idea. A chocolate chip cookie could be good. Anyways, now that we have an area that won't spawn mobs, kind of, we can work on getting the interior of this setup. And wow, that is dark, but there's not much I can do about that. I mean, there is something, but I don't want to do it. It requires you more torches, and I don't want to mess with that. But damn, it's safe to walk most places. I mean, that is still a dark corner over there that needs to be lit up, as does probably that, since the skyscraper kind of expands over there. But we don't like to talk about that area because that's where a failed gold farm sits. And we've got this schmuck who isn't trading anything useful. Literally nothing useful. Oh, do we have beetroot seeds? Here. Just in the event that we don't, which I'm sure we do. I'm sure that would probably end up being a waste, but... There we go. I wonder where he spawned. Must have spawned out here. Oh, hello there! So... Interesting little intermission there. Had to do the podcast. We're currently collecting melons and pumpkins, because we have built a little... area thing in the pyramid for the beacon will eventually go, but I need some more quartz, so we're getting it the only way I know how. And that's through emeralds, because who the heck wants to go to the nether? Can you imagine if we actually did this the proper way and went to the nether for all this? Like, whew. I remember watching this YouTuber. I shouldn't say does nerf stuff. He had a Minecraft channel. He had a little Let's Play series. And he was a big shader guy. He really liked shaders. It was the first time I'd ever seen shaders, and I thought it looked awesome. I mean, nowadays, I think they're like 720p videos or something. The videos look like trash. But back in the day, it looked really good. You know, it looked awesome. But anyways, so he built this quartz mansion. Oh, it was a beautiful mansion, at least, again, back in the day. It was a beautiful quartz mansion. And they built like a few of them, and they said that just the amount they had to go through in the nether to go get quartz just was insane. I don't think they even had diamond tools. They were doing this all with iron. And it felt like they were collecting iron really easily. They were finding it everywhere. It was insane. I also do feel like back in the day, iron was easier to get. At least some worlds, iron was easier to get than others. At least right away, anyways. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I just don't go caving as much as I used to. I just dig a hole. I literally do that just so I can get lava anymore. Because I'll go find a village, build a base in a village, build an iron farm. Hopefully it works. You know, we've been waiting on the bedrock one, which we haven't played on in. It's been almost 4 weeks, which is kind of insane. It doesn't feel like it's been 4 weeks. It feels like it's been a lot longer than that. But according to when I uploaded it, it's only been 4 weeks. But anyways, I should probably murder this guy so we can get another guy to spawn in a half hour or so. Oh, villagers! I need your emeralds, please. Interesting. Now, one villager can be enough to pay for it. That was the same villager? Schmucks. Well, anyways, we've blown through our iron reserves. Not blown through, but this was filled with iron. There's a lot less iron in there now. We still have all this, though. I'm sure these hoppers down here are still pretty full, so. Life isn't intolerable yet. But I'm sure it'll get there. I'm sure it'll get there. I think 147 is really when the levels stop moving, I think. Yeah, how many levels have you gotten to in your survival world? Leave a comment below. Legitimately, anyways. 147 is insane. It really is. I've never... Ouch. Alright. The sun's setting. It's getting real low. Alright. Blocks of quartz. We want some quartz pillars. I don't know how many quartz pillars we're going to want, but... we're buying a little bit of both. And the sun's setting now, so we're going to go to bed. So we can keep training with the villagers. Let's murder this guy. Ouch! Hey! You throw me off. Schmucks? Jesus. So we're currently constructing whatever this is on the inside. Everything is incredibly dark because, well, all of my usual things I would use to light places up don't work anymore. At least not in Java. You can't place light sources underneath slabs and have them light the area up. I don't know when that stopped being a thing, but it's no longer a thing. Which is a little depressing, to be honest, because I was really relying on that to light some of these areas up without having torches everywhere. So here we are again, back to the... that is actually something that I know some Hermitcraft players have wanted. Are ways of, like, hiding light or whatever. Because I just have to spam torches everywhere. I mean, I could probably go find an ocean monument, kill all the guardians, build a farm, kind of. Try and build a farm, and then get a bunch of sea lanterns. Like no, because those look the best. No, not about that. Not about that life. All right, we've got the front done. It doesn't look terrible. It's not great, but it's not awful. Definitely could use maybe like a concentric ring or something. I'm not sure. It's so hard to get quartz though. It's just... you just kind of gotta accept it at this point. It is what it is. Everything's dark because I can't use any of my usual glitches. Because they don't exist anymore on Java. Why, Mojang? Why? Why do you make my life more difficult than it needs to be? That glitch. Everybody used that glitch. You probably have people who like have whole builds who rely on that glitch. Actually, I have whole builds that do rely on that glitch. Interestingly enough. On my city world, I have whole sets of builds that rely on that glitch being around forever. Because it has been around forever. Gosh, scaffolding is the greatest block ever. It makes this... oh my gosh. You know, if we talk about stuff that you carry in your inventory all the time, scaffolding. All the time. But it lets me pile up super quick and easy. I don't know why that's there. And it lets me do this. On Bedrock, this isn't that big of a deal because on Bedrock, you can build out in front of you. Look at that. And it's done. It's finished. I guess we could try and work on the entrance a bit more. Boom, there's the entrance. Such a... Oh my gosh. So ridiculous. Actually, how much quartz bricks do we have? 3. Never mind. I had an idea, but it was to extend this out, but we don't have enough quartz bricks for that. So this is it. This is what we've built. You know, it's not too glamorous for a thumbnail. Well, that wasn't much of a video since we finished this so quickly. That's it. That's the whole thing. I don't really have a way of getting a better view of this. I guess over here from the entrance is better. Oh, yeah. Ignore the scaffolding. There we go. So yes, next video we will be killing the Wither many times. At least 2 more times. We need at least 2 more beacons. I want a 3rd. I want another beacon. There'll be a 4th beacon technically, but I want another beacon for you know, use around the place, you know, use it for that kind of stuff. Well, anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New Minecraft Java Let's Plays every single Monday, 11 a.m. Central Time, and good night. Hello there. Actually, it's more of a goodbye. This is my Minecraft outro. Anyways, make sure you subscribe so that we can hit our 10K goal, so we can plant 100 trees for subs for trees. Otherwise, stick around for the next 20 seconds to give me that sweet, sweet watch time.